This is Diana Quinn. Today I'm going to do a little demo on how to clay bar and wax your car. Before I get started though, I need to wash the vehicle, so I'm going to do a quick wash of the vehicle and then we can get started. First thing I'm going to do is actually rinse the car off and do the whole thing. I'm going to do a real good soaking and get as much dirt off the car as possible with this clay. Okay, our next step here is going to be to wash the car. You'll see here in my trusty bucket that I have filled it with hot soapy water. And I'm using soap that is made for cars. So you don't want to use Dawn dishwashing detergent on your cars, but a soap that is made for, the cleaning of cars. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you. Here is the rag that I use. I use this kind of a mitt to wash the car. And I find that these work real well. When you're done with it, you can just throw them into the washing machine to get all the dirt and everything. Also, in the bottom of my bucket is I have a grate that catches any dirt as I'm washing the car. Okay, after we've washed the car, then our next step before I wax and everything, it's a three-step process. The first step is I'm going to clay bar the car, and then I'm going to use a pre-wax conditioner called HD Cleanse, and then I will wax the surface of the car. So to actually do a clay bar, you need two things. You actually need the clay bar itself here. And here it comes, in this little box, and I'll take it out here in a second, and you can take a look at it. Or if you can buy this in any auto parts store or any place that sells car cleaning stuff. And if it doesn't come in a plastic box, then you can just put it in a Ziploc bag when you're done with it. But the other thing that you need is some kind of quick detailer, be it Meguiar's, Mother's, something like this. This is going to be the lubricant. So let's take a closer look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this clay bar here. So the clay bar is going to come like this. It's going to be wrapped in a cellophane wrapper of some sort like this to keep it moist. Just take it out of the cellophane wrapper. You can throw that away. But when you get ready, when you're done with it, you're going to want to put your clay bar back in this little box to keep it from drying out. If you didn't buy one with a box like this, just put it in a Ziploc bag. So what we're going to do is we're going to make like a pancake out of this clay bar. You're just going to stretch it out like this, kind of get it out, not too thin, but, as much surface as you can, like this. And then we are going to need our quick detailer. And we're going to take and spray the quick detailer on the car like this. And then a small area, and then you're going to take the clay bar and run it over the surface of the paint. You're just going to do it in, either back and forth motions like this or straight up and down. And just keep rubbing it, and you can turn it over like this until you feel the surface is smooth. And then you're going to see that it's going to start to pick up junk, out of there. You can probably see the brown that's starting to come onto the clay bar. That's the junk that it's pulled out of your paint. Then you're just going to finish this up by taking your microfiber towel and just wipe down the area that you have just clay barred. Now this process probably only needs to be done about once a year to your car, maybe twice a year at most. It takes a little while to do the whole car, as you can see, because you're going to do small areas at a time. But it's really something worth it. It will really help allow the paint to be nice and clean, and your wax will stay on your car a lot longer. Okay, now the next step in this process for me is step 2, which is going to do a pre-wax conditioner, and I use a product from Zymol, It's called HD Cleanse. So what we're going to need here is we are going to need the cleaner, we're going to need a sponge, and like with the clay bar, we're going to need a microfiber towel to complete this process. Okay, now we're going to actually apply the HD Cleanse to the area that I've already clay barred, but like I said earlier, you don't actually have to do this. If you haven't clay barred your car, that's okay too. You can still use this product. So it's very liquid. You just put some on a sponge here. So I'm just gonna get it out here, and then I'm going to apply it to the area, to a small area of the car here. So just rub it on with the sponge. You don't really have to let this really dry very much. You can just get it, just apply it to the car. It will dry pretty quickly. And then just take your microfiber towel, and then you can just wipe it off. So but again, this is just another way of getting the paint super clean in preparation for applying the wax. See, that paint surface is starting to shine. Okay, so there we go. That's the area that I cleaned. Okay, let's look at step 3. Now we're ready to wax our car. So I use Zymol Wax. I use carbon. I don't recommend that you go and buy any of the wax that like Walmart sells. They usually sell a product called Zymol Cream. The carbon is a good medium grade wax, but if you're looking for a wax, you want to have something that has carnauba in it. That is the best kind of wax. So we're going to need wax, we're going to need a sponge, and we're going to need our trusty microfiber towel. Okay, let's wax our car now. Let's take a look at this wax. This is the carbon wax. It comes in this really nice kind of plasticky glass container. It has a rubber seal. It just flips off like this. You can see this is a fairly new jar. One thing I'm going to say about this wax is do not store it in your garage. You don't want this wax to go through extreme cold and hot temperatures up and down. It will crystallize and will run your wax. So what we need here is a sponge, and we're just going to take this sponge and dip it into the wax. This wax also smells very nice. It smells kind of has a coconut smell to it. It does have carnauba in it. Carnauba is probably the best kind of wax. So when you're looking at waxes and everything, look for something that's got a fairly dense or a fair amount of carnauba. So your cheaper waxes will have less carnauba than your more expensive waxes. But this carbon is really kind of a good, middle of the road wax. It doesn't cost a fortune, but it's not real cheap either. So, okay, so we've got wax on our sponge. So let's put the wax on this area of the car where I have already HD cleansed it and clay barred it. And you just spread it on. You don't need to let the wax actually dry. As a matter of fact, you don't really want it to dry. You just want to spread it all over the area. Okay. Just kind of do a general area. You want to go up and down or side to side. No swirlies, so that you don't get swirl marks. Okay. So you just want to apply it, and then you just want to come back with your microfiber towel and wipe that area. And after you're done with that, you're going to have a nice shiny paint surface. It will be really smooth as glass. This is my preferred show wax. This wax will probably last through about 3 other, I'll call it soap and water, cleanings after you wax your car, and then it will probably be time to, go through the process again of at least HD cleansing and waxing your car. This wax has really been good to me. I use it. I use it all the time on my cars, and it is my preferred show wax. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something about clay barring, HD cleansing, and waxing your car.